Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we are talking about our top 10 games that we learned in June 2023.
Right? And for those of you who don't know, it's not games that are released in June 2023. We've got some old ones on the list.
Yeah, we do, because we played some variety, so.
And so it's just whatever we have played in the month of June.
Yeah.
So, and I got to say, we got quite a bit of overlap this month.
Oops.
Whoa, what are you doing?
I'm trying to prepare.
We're trying to put our first one on there. So for those of you who have not followed us on Twitch, be sure to watch us on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we will stream 3 full games every night with full teaches and playthroughs. So come join us.
Yeah.
And then you can watch us on YouTube after.
Yeah.
And check out your blog on Board Game Geek.
The things.
And your Instagram account. And your Twitter account.
Yes.
And your Facebook account.
Well, so basically we have Gen Con coming up. So
yes.
So we're gonna a lot of games to show off and play. And
And for those of you going to Gen Con, we are going to be working in the BGG Hot Games Room, which will be on the second floor of the Hyatt.
Yep. So if you want to find us and maybe play a game, we'll
play the hot games. Yep. Tickets are required for entry. That's not up to us, nor is it actually up to Board Game Geek. Gen Con actually makes everyone use tickets for every single event.
Yep,
so
this is true.
Unfortunately, we got to take tickets. So, but for those of you who go to Gen Con, you're probably already aware you're going to need tickets to do just about anything there. So let's get into our top 10, starting with my number 10.
Yep.
My number 10 is an older game.
Yep.
From Hans im Glück and Rio Grande Games, and it is called Rain King.
Yeah. I hadn't heard about this one, but we found it in the BGG storage sale. So
yeah,
decided to give it a go.
Yep. Board Game Geek does a storage sale every BGG spring. And basically they're clearing out all of the older and unplayed, unchecked out games from the library. If a game doesn't get checked out from the library, or there are multiple copies of a game, then that game will get scooped off to the storage sale where Aldi raises money for Cafe Momentum. And we got a whole bunch in the storage sale, including Rain King. And in this game, basically, we are given a tile or an image that is going to be ours that we want to boost to the top of the rankings. And so everything starts off in the middle. Steph will have one, James will have one, Susan will have one, and then we will then a category will get flipped up, and we are trying to when it's your turn, you're going to take 2 of them that are on the same line, and you're going to move one of them up and one of them down. You will say some justification like, I think a duck is better suited for the water than this old shoe.
Depending on the category, because each round is a new category.
Right.
Or a new question is asked.
Question.
Yeah.
Like which of these would be best suited for the water or something, or whatever the case may be. Which of these would have most fun at an amusement park or whatever. So the catch is the duck mine? Am I helping somebody else out? Clearly the shoe's probably not mine. If Steph thinks she's got my pick figured out, she will put her token on it, and that will make me actually lose points at the end of the game. But if I can get my image highest ranked on there, then I will get a whole bunch of points, and the first one to make it
up and back,
up all the way to the top of the tower and all the way back down, and basically it's a points track, will win the game.
It's cute.
And
it's an easy party game.
And sometimes the category that comes up, you really can't justify your choice at all. So,
but you have only a limited selection of tiles.
There
when
are
you choose. So.
yes, and some of them are obvious winners, and some of them are not.
Right.
But it's in any case, it can be a lot of fun, and it was good enough to make my top 10 ranking by Gluck and Rio Grande.
Yeah.
Your number 10.
My number 10 is actually the same as your number 9.
What?
So
I was surprised actually. So we compared our list side by side, and I intentionally did not look at our top 10 list the entire time that I had not come up with my top 10 list. And when I came up with it, then I put her side by side. I was like,
whoa,
they're identical on a lot of these. And so, or one off. Yeah. And so this is one that's like right next to each other. So, yep. And that was not intentional in either. And we have different games on our list too.
Yep. So my number 10, your number 9 is Ticket to Ride San Francisco.
That's right.
So this is from the small line of the Ticket to Ride series. So a lot of people might have heard of Ticket to Ride New York or Amsterdam or London. This is like the next one, right? So it's San Francisco. Obviously, beautiful colors. I love all the rainbows in this game. Each one of these little boxes plays just like each other, except they add in like one mechanic that's different. And this time in San Francisco, you're gonna try and connect to different parts of the city to collect tokens. And it's
rainbow-colored tokens.
It's a set collection. The more you get, the more points you can get. But is it worth your time and trouble to try and get them because they're in off locations that is like maybe not convenient to where you're going?
I think in New York it is. It's coins. You're collecting cab fare tips because you're cabs. In London, it's to see the different sites.
The district, so you're trying to hit so many in each district.
And then Amsterdam, I think, is the tourist spot or something.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute since I played Amsterdam. Anyway,
but yeah, they'll have their like one little thing that they do a little differently, and so this one has little tokens that you can collect around the board.
Right. But the basic gameplay is what you will recognize from Ticket to Ride, and this is not an exception.
I like the little box games because they play out so quickly. It's like you're not really investing that much time into it, and you're familiar with it. You know how to play. It's very easy to like get to the table.
Right.
So I do like this series.
Yeah, there's nothing that detracts from any of them. It's like, oh yeah, this is not like a Ticket to Ride in this little way. None of them are like that.
Right.
In my opinion.
Right.
So if you are a Ticket to Ride fan, you really can't go wrong with Ticket to Ride San Francisco. Do you need all of them? Maybe not, but hey, if you're a fan, it's a definite insta-buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
And you can usually find these for $10-15
cheap,
for the small ones.
And small footprint too.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
What is it? 4-player maximum on these?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, totally worth checking out.
Yep. So that was our number
10?
10.
9.
And 9.
Your number 9.
My number 9 is what?
Is on my short list. Did not make my list.
So it's called Blob Party.
Blob Party.
We played this on stream with a few viewers too. It's
Chelsea a time roller.
Yeah. It's a cooperative like word game along like the similar lines to like Code Names or Just One or you're trying to it's light, it's easy. But this time you're given like a category and a topic or some topic and like, okay, I don't know what they're called, but you're trying to give an answer like-mindedly with everybody. So if everybody answers it correctly, that's good. You'll win the game. If you answer it correctly, if Michael and I answer the same way, then now we're one blob.
Our blobs connect.
Yeah. So then going forward, we have to think of one answer that will match other people. What I found with this game is, while it's really fun, it's also pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
It needs like an advanced mode of sorts. It could also just be we played with 4 people, and 4 people's like the minimum. So it's probably better with like 8, 10 people. I think it only plays up to 8 in the box, but you can still play with more people.
Plus, it'll be a lot of fun at a convention where you can, when you blob up with other people, then you actually all sit on the same side of the table and you talk to each other to try to come up with a common answer.
Yeah, so like one of them was music, restaurant, and I think James and I put Hard Rock Cafe or something like that. That's like the obvious choice, right? Because music, restaurant. I mean, it's right there. And like, if that's your first combination,
I think we said jukebox or something. Somebody did.
I don't. Yeah, so you could have various answers.
Go check the stream, you'll see it.
But sometimes it just lines up where there's an obvious answer. So if somebody doesn't get it, well, they'll get in next round, and everybody else can you have 7 rounds to do it, but we haven't made it longer than 3 or 4 rounds. Right. Yeah, I mean, we had it. So for me, it's just a little easy. It needs a little bit more advanced play, but I still enjoyed playing it. I think it's fun. I like having the little blob figures and little eyeballs that you can put to your.
Everybody has one colored eye.
It's cute.
So I got my little blue eye, your little red eye.
Yeah, it's cute.
And yeah.
The piano bar.
Piano bar.
But yeah, I mean, we had fun with it.
Yeah.
So.
That is your number 9 is Blob Party from WizKids.
Yep.
My number 8 is your number 8.
I know. I'm not ready. Hold on.
Whoa.
This was a big game.
Yeah. You can only put it on one side if you want.
No.
Because you got to put it on. Oh, it's going to cover.
Whoa, it's huge.
No, it's what I'm saying.
All right. It's huge. Here we go.
Boom. Edge of Darkness from AEG.
The game is actually huge too.
The game is ginormous.
It fits. I actually just got the replacement for.
Oh yeah, Matt was playing too. That's right.
Yeah, there we go. But Edge of Darkness, big box. It actually was scary. It scared me away for a while. Like, why would I want to play that? It looked like the cover really doesn't tell you what the game is.
Right.
It is a bad cover for what you get and what you're doing in the book.
It looks like a minis game.
It looks like a minis on a map, battling it out on land.
And it's totally not.
It looks like that, and it's not. So I think
totally not.
I think they did a poor job with the cover of this game. It's not selling the game, in my opinion. While it's pretty, it's a pretty picture.
It is a very pretty picture,
but it doesn't do the game.
I thought it was a minis game.
And like, that's a big box with big minis in there. I don't want that.
And what?
No.
I mean, while I will play those games, you got to be in the right mood for those games. In reality, it is a Mystic Veil type game. It's a deck builder. So
yeah.
Now,
hey Dan,
we have the deluxe edition, Kickstarter edition, I guess.
I don't know if they're different editions.
We unfolded the board, which is huge, and then there are additional boards not on top of that. And the purpose of those add-on boards are so there's a place for the cards.
Yeah, it's not.
And you don't have to have
really needed
a place for those cards. But it's fine. It's fine. So, much like Dominion, you start out with a base hand of cards, basically. And there are 10 market piles. They're not market piles, but they're basically market piles that you are going to use to make your deck better. And like, I don't know if those of you out there have seen Mystic Veil, but these are transparent cards with a top, middle, and bottom. And you can slide in these little transparent cards with windows, either a top, middle, or bottom windowed area that's filled in with stuff, and you will put it into a little sleeve. And then that becomes part of the card that you play. And so based on the 10 cards that are out in the market, then you can basically change your strategy to compensate, much like Dominion. So
the difference is that you don't have a deck of cards. Like, you use those cards,
right? And
then they go back to the common.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the thing that Steph. It is deck building, but they're not your personal cards.
They are, but they're not.
But they're not.
It's tricky.
So my cards. They were not blue. They were white, I think. my cards were, because I don't think blue was a
I think
color.
it's blue and white.
Was it blue?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so I've got the blue cards. After I use them, I will put them in the discard pile, but it's a common discard pile. Steph will use her cards. They go to a common discard pile, but every round we are going to be drafting the cards that we want to use. If I draft one of her cards, I have to pay her money in order to be able to use it. And then when I use it, it will go to her personal pile to be used by her next turn.
Yeah.
But if it's one of mine or a neutral one, I will put it in the common discard pile. And that's the one thing that you don't care for is the shared
pool of
the
cards.
shared pool.
Yeah, and there's also a mechanic where there are 3 cards that we're trying to attack and take down before they take down us. Or
oh yeah, the 3 monsters. Yeah,
and those cards are from the general supply, which could be your cards that you've worked so hard to build up.
It's the backside of all of those cards.
The backside of the cards. So,
and so if you build one of your cards to be big, it could be big, but against us because they are corrupting. They've turned corrupted.
Yeah.
So
there's this huge cube tower. It's huge. It's cute. It's good. I like it.
She says, "Where do you put your cards?" Well, you draft them, then you play them, and then you discard them out.
Well,
so you don't have.
You're talking about the boards that you don't need to use.
Right, you just put them on the table or on the spaces.
Yeah.
That they represent. It basically is so you can see the pretty artwork on the board and the cards.
Yeah.
That's all it's for.
So
and it is beautiful.
Maybe we'll play it on stream. I should probably play it again to see.
We'll have to mount the camera from the ceiling.
All right.
Huge.
I want to like it more than I do. Obviously, I have it in my top 10, so I think there's potential here. I like that there's a lot of different cards in the box, so you can have a different setup of 10 cards each game, and then it will feel different. But
we played with the first scenario.
Yeah.
The intro day, like if this is your first game, play with these 10 cards.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot more. There's a lot of locations.
Because we did basic stuff.
Yeah.
Really basic actions.
Yeah, so there might be more interesting cards in there. I don't know.
And I think that
I don't love the way that the deck works.
Right.
So that's my one hang up.
It has I always have my game that I think has the biggest potential to go up or down. This is that game for this month.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm glad we played it.
I am too. And I'm on the edge of, it's
the
like
edge of darkness.
Dude, I'm on the edge of darkness as to whether we should continue playing a lot of this and keep it or send it off the abyss into the darkness.
I mean, it's a very big box, so.
It's a lot of room.
It better be really good.
It better be really good. That next play better be great. But like I say, it was good enough to make number 8, Edge of Darkness. For both of us.
Yeah.
From AEG. My number 7 game is from Buffalo Games.
Yep, it's another one with a terrible cover. It's
60 Second City.
Not doing any help for that game. Is that cover?
Oh, heroic. So in 60 Second City, did we play this on stream?
Yep.
So we played this on stream. Basically, we have a wooden grid in front of us, and we are working together to get through a number of goals. And we will have, I think, 5 each day that we are going to complete. And how long do we have to complete it? 60 seconds. So we are going to be grabbing tiles, Galaxy Trucker style, and placing them onto the grid. Steph and I are going to be going both at the same time. We have to either start from the edge or from the middle and go out from there and trying to make all of these patterns. And there's also pollution on the board, which you're trying to surround with your tiles. And hopefully the pollution doesn't get in your way too much. And maybe there's a way that you can mitigate that pollution and take it off the board. But if you can get through all of the objectives, then you have collectively won the game. And you can crank that difficulty level up pretty darn high.
Yeah, we were playing it on easy and won, but if we went any higher, I'm not sure we would have won.
Yeah, I think we played it on stream as normal,
And
it was hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can crank that difficulty level up even higher.
Yeah.
So, super interesting game, and I'm not sure that I've seen a 60-second drafting sort of tile laying sort of thing that's cooperative like that. So it is sort of interesting and in a relatively small box. So definitely
It's good.
rather innovative. So yeah, all of the tiles are double tiles and with a little notch in the middle that fits right into that little wooden grid. So I like it. So
it's good quality game.
Yeah.
Just the cover needs work.
Cover needs work. So be sure to check out 60. Yeah, it's much more colorful inside.
It is. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that on the outside too.
And that 60-second city from Buffalo Games.
Yep. My number 7 is Autobahn.
Oh.
We did play this on stream.
From Alley Cat.
It's a big, crunchy game. I think it's probably Lopiano's best game, in my opinion. I like a lot of what it's doing. I like there's a puzzle element to it of trying to get your workers up into the offices to score points, and that's really where you get the majority of your points in the game. So figuring out how to do that is my favorite part of the game. What I don't like are just minor things that are annoying, nitpicky.
Well, what's the game about, Steph?
It's route building. Look, I said route. No, I don't know.
It's not exact.
There's like a lot going on. It's a hand management game where you're playing cards to take actions, and those actions will either be like laying road, upgrading road.
More basic.
We are
all involved in constructing the Autobahn. So.
Yes, with the name of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, what are we doing all this for? Well, we're creating the Autobahn and we are upgrading it and we're putting the little gas stations and we are taking our workers and advancing them. Either they start out in the offices, basically on the board of that individual road, and then they get bumped off and promoted into the executive offices. And that is going to score you end game points.
And that's where I like that puzzle and how to do that.
Love that.
Is what I like.
I agree.
But yeah, I like the game and I want to like it a little bit more. I think I like it best with 3 players. I would not want to play with 4. So with 2 players, it was fine.
It was fine with 2, fine with 3.
I think I liked it best with 3, though.
Yeah.
So I should play it again.
Eva said it is okay, but she found it slightly disappointing. It has nice components. That sideboard gets confusing. It can.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in this game.
There's a lot of little things happening, and so you have to kind of be on your game and know what's happening. But
it's very crunchy.
Yeah.
And it can be a really interesting puzzle to try to figure out how to get, when you decide to move trucks, how to move trucks from a depot down that colored road, but move it off of that road so you can then play another different colored card to go down that differently colored road and then play another card on yet another differently colored road because you've got 1 card of each color, unless you upgrade. Yeah. And if you upgrade, you got to get rid of something. Do you get rid of one of your orange cards to go with another purple card? What do you do? Right. So I think that all of that crunchiness really makes the game shine.
Yeah, and I see that.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely some.
Checking out to see if you like it.
Especially if you like crunchy euros.
Yeah. So.
And you say what you think you think it is Lopiano's best.
For me.
For you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Enough to make your number 7.
Yeah. There we go. Our number 6 are the same.
Whoa.
I know. Crazy.
Sole mio. From Abacus Spiel and Rio Grande Games. It is a sequel, standalone sequel, and combinable sequel with Mamma Mia.
Yeah,
One of your favorite games.
Solomio.
Solomio. Yes.
I really love Mamma Mia.
So Mamma Mia is in your permanent quiver. Now, for those of you who don't know what a quiver is, this long
card case.
Card box.
Yeah.
That you can carry, you can sling across your back, and it looks like a quiver.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it's orange.
Yeah. It's all right. So apparently Mamma Mia Plus, which I never owned, but I knew it existed, actually contains Mamma Mia and Solomio in one.
Sounds like Mamma Mia Grande.
If you have Mamma Mia Plus or Grande, I don't know
whatever it is.
There might be more than one edition, but it should have both of these things. But it is a standalone game.
Yes.
So it's on our list, the Solomio, which is, it plays basically the same as Mamma Mia, which is it's a sort of memory game, a resource management game where you're trying to make pizzas. And now in this,
I'll lay down one or more pepperonis. Then Steph will lay down one or more somethings.
Ingredients.
And I will lay down one or more somethings. And I might put down a pizza that I think could get fulfilled.
Yeah, and you can also, when it comes time, you can use ingredients from your hand to help fulfill your pizzas.
At the end of the round, when all the cards have been played into the pile, then whenever we are dealing them out and seeing what got fulfilled, it's like, oh, you're one pepperoni short. Aha, I've got that from my hand. Ta-da, I did it.
So yeah, and that's the big reveal is the fun part.
The big reveal.
See people mess up, to see people get it and go, oh, I can't believe you got that. And it's the wow moment. It's the wow factor of revealing it and figuring it out. So it gives you that same feeling. In this version, you have ingredients that have 2 ingredients, and then you also have all new pizzas, so that do different things. So
I like the pizzas in the original better.
Yeah, I still like Mamma Mia better.
Gives a really good change of pace, though.
Yeah, agreed. So I think it was a lot of fun.
And again, you can combine this with Mamma Mia and make Mamma Mia even more spectacular. It definitely will change up the game for people who have played Mamma Mia over and over and over again. Right. This is a good way to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
Spice up your pizza.
I like it. I like it very much.
Like it very much myself. So that is Solomio from Abacus Spiel and Rio Grande Games.
Yep.
My number 5 is from WizKids. We already had one from WizKids on this list. That was Blob Party. This is SiliconVania.
Yes.
So in SiliconVania, we are vampires that have come out. Everyone knows that vampires exist. And, well, now that we are part of humanity, we want to get into technology. As you do. And we're going to make Transylvania a tech hub called SiliconVania.
Yes.
So basically we have different types of cards in our hand that we are going to offer up 2 different cards and reveal them at the same time. One of them is going to relate to the building that you draft, and one of them is going to relate to a vampire that's going to come into your hand. And after a certain number of rounds, you start taking those vampires from your hand and putting them into, underneath your board into end game scoring piles. One of the really cool aspects about this game are the 2 tracks that will, at some point, they'll cross in the middle. And once they cross, then you can unlock more abilities. And as you go on each of the tracks, then you can get all sorts of other things. You're trying to place all of your buildings on this 4x4 grid, 4x4, 4x5, something like that, and trying to get them into the best possible orientation for you to score a whole bunch of points at the end of the game.
That part of the game kind of felt like Quadropolis a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like that game, this might be a good step up from that because there's a little bit more going on.
Love the drafting.
But yeah, I think the card play here and the tile placement and how to best score your tiles, I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy the basically, it's not really a bet, but it's that blind the blind offer, where when you reveal your cards, you might have a power that lets you draft something earlier, but has a really weak power, or you might draft super late and have an awesome power. In addition, the vampire that you draft is going to be sort of similar like that. Is going to have either a early draft but poor power, and or late draft awesome power sort of thing. And your hand is going to dwindle down bit by bit, especially when you start putting those end game scoring cards. Of course, if you have a lot of red buildings, maybe you'll want a lot of red vampires and your end game scoring. If you have yellow vampires, you're going to want the yellow ones underneath, etc. So
I like the vampire
set
theme.
collection's great. Drafting is great.
Colorful game too.
Very colorful.
Which is nice.
Yeah, which you don't expect with a vampire themed game. But yeah, they did a really good job with this. It might be one of WizKid's better games, I think. So
yeah, I really like it.
SiliconVania from WizKids.
Yep. So ours, there's a crossover here.
Your number 5 is my number 4.
Yep.
And I'm sort of shocked that I rated this higher than you did, because you are the biggest Qwixx fan. Qwixx.
I do really like Qwixx.
Qwixx, which is in your quiver.
Nope.
Qwixx quiver. It's not.
It's a roll and write.
It's in your roll and write box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have. So this is Qwixx on board.
A quiver.
Yeah.
So this is, if you've played Qwixx, you've played Qwixx on board without the board.
Yeah. It's basically Qwixx, but there's an added third step on your turn. So on your turn, normally you can choose to take the value of the white dice.
Step 1.
If that's what you want to do. And then if it's your turn, you could also take a color of one white die and a colored die.
Step 2.
And cross out things on your board. Now there's a third step, step 3, which is the board. You can advance your pawn along the board to either cross off another space or just to move it further if you've already crossed off a space.
And if you haven't crossed off the space and you can't cross off the space, you're not moving to that space.
Yeah, you can't go there. And you're trying to advance on this board to get more points. So the further you get, the more points you can get at the end of the game. It is also another way, if you get to the end of the track, that you can end the game that way versus the normal Qwixx ways.
Which those still exist.
Yeah.
So
sounds confusing. It's not confusing.
No, it's confusing.
If you know Qwixx,
Qwixx,
there's a board, and you'll get to advance on the board if you want. Yeah. You don't even have to.
Yeah. So a two-step Qwixx game becomes a 3-step Qwixx game, and that's basically all it is to it.
It's not that bad. And we actually did a video on it. So if you're interested in learning more, we played with some people on stream, so that was a lot of fun. And
yeah, and check it out and see if it is something. For those of you who love Qwixx, check out the video. Maybe it's something that you want to take a look at.
Sounds like it's still pretty Qwixx.
It is still pretty Qwixx.
Very much Qwixx.
It is very much Qwixx. I was rather surprised at how Qwixx it was.
Yeah.
So,
I like all the versions of Qwixx.
I do too.
He has the old app.
I have the app, yeah.
And it's like, you can't get that app, I don't think, anymore. But it's so good. It's like, that's like...
And we played Qwixx waiting for food at a restaurant. And by the time we played our game of Qwixx, boom, we got our food.
Qwixx is
great.
Qwixx is awesome. I love Qwixx. So...
it is an easy go-to. And hey, it's on our 100 by 100 challenge. Which... I haven't updated it in a while. We're halfway through the year, so
yeah,
hopefully. Oh, and yeah, definitely worth checking out. Qwixx on board from NSV.
Yep.
Now we're on your number 4.
My number 4.
My number 4.
Yep. Is Indiana Jones Cryptic. Paths and...
Barely missed my list.
Puzzles and Pathways, I think it's called.
Puzzles and Pathways.
This is...
It's very small.
And it's escape type game where inside this box you're gonna get 3 packets to basically work through. So you'll find puzzles and in what they call pathways inside each of these envelopes, and so
They might relate to the 3 movies.
they definitely relate to the 3 movies, which is timely because there's that new Indiana Jones movie that just came out, which I have not even seen yet, but hopefully, hopefully I won't miss out and go see that soon. But I like the Indiana Jones theme in general, just like the adventure and like the cool relics
And
all.
Harrison Ford is fantastic.
Well,
So,
yeah, of course, of course. So, this game specifically is good for the family because there are puzzles that you're gonna work through in your journal and work as you go through the journal. It'll basically reveal more things for you to do and get to the end. You have to do this, 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 and you'll get coins as you go. But then there's this whole new thing called Pathways, which is basically Looney Quest. If anybody's played Looney Quest out there, if not, you should go play Looney Quest.
Absolutely.
But it's a visual puzzle where you are looking at a board, and over here you're drawing the pathway that you're trying to make, and then you're going to overlay it. So you're
without having it directly on top, you've got it off. What you're on a dry erase sheet.
It's easier than Looney Quest because Looney Quest sometimes you got to cover it up. You can't you look
and then not look at it.
Remember what you've seen, and that's
that would be.
So it's a little it's different. It's good in here because they give you these different tools that you're trying to sling things at people as you're driving by them, and you're jumping over caverns and
there are certain keys that you can use, which are little stencils. You'll place them on the map and like connect the lines. Like, oh hey, I need to jump over a chasm. I have to use my little jumping tool for that, and then mark it. So
so it I really like what they've done in this. So it made my list because I really like that element, the pathways element, because that's my kind of challenge. I like the visual challenges like that. Logic puzzles are good too, and there were a few good ones, but there are also a few misses inside the logic book challenges. So.
Here's my complaint about the game. So, if you miss something, okay, so like let's say that this is a puzzle that you get 3 coins for. If you take a hint, you're down to 2 coins, and that's fine. You can still max out your score even with an occasional using of a hint. A similar sort of thing is true with the Looney Quest sort of tracing things. But here's the complaint with that. Let's say you have to get from point A to point B. And both of them are at the bottom of the map. But to do so, you've got to go through this long, windy canyon trail, for example. And as you do, if you hit any part outside of that trail, that's one of your 3 coins. If you don't land in this end zone, you lose a coin or a point. If you don't do something else, you lose a point. Here's my complaint. It doesn't matter how much you hit that colored section. So let's say I've got point A down here and point B here. And I go straight across the map through the rocks. I don't even try to do the little windy road. How many coins do I lose? 1. 3 coins minus the 1 I'm going to lose because there's no way I'm not going to hit a wall. And if you hit a wall twice, it's the 1 coin. You hit a wall 4 times, it's 1 coin. You hit a wall and come through on the other side, it's 1 coin.
There's no benefit to actually trying to do the
pathways. There's no benefit to do the trade.
Play just because I'm going to play that way.
Because we want to try.
I want to try.
You want to try.
And most people play that way, but a few gamers will be Michael here and just go right across the map. And it doesn't.
That's what you're like, I lost 2 coins. I lost 1 coin. So I thought it was funny.
It could use a better system for that. But yeah, it was fine for me.
But despite all that, it was still fun.
It was, yeah.
Like all escape room type puzzles, this is a play through once sort of thing. You don't have to destroy anything, fortunately, which is good, which means you can pass it on to a neighbor or a friend. Definitely, I enjoyed my time playing Indiana Jones Cryptic. So hopefully y'all will too. Indiana Jones Cryptic from Funko Games.
Yep, it was fun.
Already, we're jamming through this list.
Totally.
We're already on my number 3.
Number 3.
Which did not make your list.
Nope.
But I thought it was good enough to make the list. And it is, and I know my friend James will disagree with me on this because he thinks Ra is broken. It is Priests of Ra from Rio Grande Games. Rio Grande hitting my list, 3 times this
is a lot
month.
Yeah.
In Priest of Ra, it is basically, amazingly enough, Ra. And it is Ra with different tiles.
Yeah.
Instead of having tiles that, for example, you've got the river tiles that you need to have flood, and if they don't flood, you're not going to score the rivers. It still has tiles that you keep from era to era, and tiles that you get rid of from era to era. But I think it's much simpler set collection than Ra is. You're trying to get pyramids of different colors. You're trying to arrange them into an actual pyramid shape on your sideboard, while trying to prevent other people from drafting the tiles that you want. And you can have priest tiles that can get rid of corruption and things like that. Now, even though Priest of Ra and Ra use the same mechanics, I don't think you can combine Priest of Ra and Ra. And I think Ra is probably the superior game.
Definitely with the new edition from 25th century.
Oh, absolutely.
It's beautiful. I don't think there's any competition.
That said, I did have a good time with Priest of Ra, despite the fact that it is not as good as Ra. However, people who love Ra will want to check this one out for sure. It is a 2009 title, I do believe. So it may not be that easy to find. But this was another one. Was this a storage sale one as well?
This was gathering on a table, I think.
We grabbed it off of a sale table.
Yeah.
So I was interested. I'm like, hey, let's check it out. And so we played it. Priest of Ra by Rio Grande Games.
Yep. Okay.
Your number 3.
My number 3 is 60-Second City.
Oh. Dan says, I think Priest is a nice change of pace. And I would agree with that. If you played a bunch of Ra, Priest of Ra is a good change up.
I don't play Ra enough to need a change of pace.
It is a classic.
Yeah, sure.
So. And James says it's broken.
Well, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
So, maybe. Okay.
Your number 3, 60-Second City. What? Hit click.
60-Second City.
Blink, blink.
The redo.
Take 2.
I really like this. It's a 2-player game. I bought it because I like city building games and it's 2-player cooperative. I'm like, let's give it a go. I wasn't expecting it would actually be a keeper.
It's specifically 2-player co-op, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or 1 player.
Based on the cover, I'm like, this is terrible. Like, this is. I still hate the cover. Like, I don't know. They could do. Publishers can do better than this. I know it. They did better with the artwork on the actual tiles. So even if they just lined up every tile on the cover and made it one big colorful, like, block of tiles, it would have been a better cover than this. But in any case, I had a great time playing this one, and it stood out for me in June. So I'm glad we did play it. It is a keeper of a game, so we could play it some other time. It's very easy, fast. It's a nice game. So
Yep.
It deserved the number 3 position.
And it's not super heavy. It's a good light,
Yeah, no, it's super light. It's not.
but it's
heavy
got
at all.
enough puzzle, so it's not just like it's not 1 out of 5 light. It's more 2 out of 5 light, I think.
Sure. I mean, it's
on
not like
the crunchy scale, it's not medium
it's not
light.
like point salad or something. There's something.
There's a little bit more to it.
But even still, it's not.
It's not brain burn.
There's no way. I mean, there's no way a brain burner or anything. I mean,
Right.
it's a good like wind down kind of game. Like, let's play this.
It's exactly where it hits. I
Yep.
think.
It's good. Play it.
Yep, 60-Second City from Buffalo Games. My number 2, we've already talked about. It is Autobahn by Alley Cat Games. So I love crunchy Euros. I cannot lie. You Euro lovers can't deny. It's got a lot of all of the things that I love in a good Euro. Card drafting and optimal time of playing those cards in order to try to grab those opportunities. You are the gas station placement queen. I mean, you run for that strategy. You're like, I'm not gonna do it this time, and then boom, you do it, and it's because it's right there in front of you, and you can't not do it. Because you see the good opportunities.
Yeah, if
and you
start
kill me.
Cool bonuses from those passing throughs, then it's good.
So I tried to do that. I put it right in the dead center of the map, and then what did everybody do?
You
Killing me. So
that's fine.
I enjoy selecting the bonuses on my board and on the corporate track and trying to push for that, and then getting a couple of other things on the side because you can't get everything. You don't have enough keys to unlock everything on your board. It's physically not possible.
You have to decide what you want to do.
You have to. I mean, if you can unlock all the keys, you still won't have enough.
Right.
So you have to choose what you're going to give up and what you're going to go after. And so I like figuring out what am I going to commit to, what am I going to go after, and then pursuing it. But yeah, definitely a good crunchy Euro that I want to pursue a little bit more. So that's Autobahn from Alley Cat Games.
Yep.
Your number 2.
My number 2 is SiliconVania.
We talked about this.
Yeah. I really like this one. This is more my jam than your jam.
Draft. No, it's also my jam.
Well, you put it at like 5.
I did put it at 5.
So
Qwixx is supposed to be
2.
Qwixx is supposed to be more your jam than mine, and I still put it as 4.
I'm just saying. I like this one. I kind of want all of the buildings to score, but because of the way the game is played, you only get to score a few different things.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess that means you have to pick and choose, and you have to hold on to cards you want to keep. It makes it challenging, which is good. It should be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the tile placement aspect, and I like how you select cards. And, you know, if something...
The offer.
Yeah, the offer, and even the tie-breaking, like, it's a nice touch for the tie-breaking, for choosing the next cards also. So the way the whole game is played is like, it's nice. It's a nice game. It's smooth. I don't think it's doing anything new or exciting, but it's doing it really well. And so for me, this was my number 2 game. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think that summarizes it really, really well. It does what it does elegantly. It's not groundbreaking, but it's super well sewn together, I think.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. So that's SiliconVania.
We like that.
From WizKids.
Yep.
My number 1 and your number 1 should be no surprise.
Really?
To people who watched our stream of this game. We have the same number 1 this month. And that is Miller Zoo from Randolph and Hatchet.
I really like this one.
Your Miller Zoo is smaller than my Miller Zoo.
No.
Yeah, in Miller Zoo, it is a cooperative game where you are trying to rehome animals to your zoo. And it is scenario based where you are opening up envelopes along the way in order to increase the challenge. It sort of steps you through, hey, this is a little easy scenario. We're basically just going to give you something easy so that you can learn the game. And then we're going to make it a little more difficult, and then a little more difficult, and then a little more difficult. And you can go after achievements along the way. When you do, you put a little sticker on the back of your board.
It's cute. It's hard too.
It is not easy. We did fail a couple of times.
We did.
2 or 3 times. Now, there is
yes, stickers.
Stickers. Now there is an envelope that says the first time you lose, open up this envelope. We forgot. We were on our 3rd loss before we realized, oh, hey, we should open up this envelope and make it easier on ourselves. And we did not until too late. Bria's, stickers. So I really like what they did with putting the pressure on with the events and with the different player powers and everything. I really like all of the cooperative aspects that they added in this game. So
it's a good game. We played 18 times. I mean,
18.
We played it a lot. I mean, the games range from like 15 to 25 minutes.
They're super quick, so quick.
It's kind of easy just to play.
One of the achievements is to finish a game in 10 minutes.
I think.
And we did it.
Was it 10 minutes or 15 minutes?
15 for the harder one. Spoilers.
I don't know. I think it was 20 and 15.
I don't know. Anyway, there's a time limit on some of them. Spoiler alert. Not anything major. No, that's not a major spoiler. We actually had a game inside the game. When we got a new envelope full of critters, I would say, all right, what is this guy named? I mean, what I'm going to give you the name. You tell me what animal it is.
I didn't get any right.
No, you did. You got a bear right.
I don't think I got any right.
So, that was really fun to do. Well, no, you got a tiger right too. I said She-Ra and you said tiger.
All of the characters and animals are named after real people working at Miller Zoo. Yes. So I think that's really a nice tribute to the zoo.
And this is Miller Zoo in Canada, not Miller Zoo in wherever Miller Zoo is in the U.S. Canada. This one is in Canada, yes. But yes, all of the people are real people, and I remember there's one of them named Emily that if you go to the Miller Zoo website, then you will see her in action on the website. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I know who she is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was super cool.
It's good. So, yeah. I really like this game. I think a lot of people will enjoy it if they find it. There's so many games out there, so it really has to stand out for people. But maybe the more we talk about it, the more people will find it. So, I'm just glad we got to play this one. I think it's a special game. I foresee it being in the top at the end of the year somewhere in the top list. Whenever we do that.
Yep.
It's a good game. I really like this one.
Yeah, super solid. Definitely replayable. When you finish everything up, they're like, okay, this way is the standard way of playing it. This way is the advanced way of playing it if you want to give yourself a bigger challenge. And so I like how that they have a standard version after everything is all done. Once the achievements are done, there is still the game that can be played at any time. So, yep, super cute, super colorful, really cool depictions of the animals and the staff. Highly recommend Miller Zoo from Randolph and Hachette.
Yep.
So,
play it.
Running down our top 10, for those of you who are catching us on the very end of the stream, my number 10, Rain King from Hans and Gluck and Rio Grande Games. Number 9, Ticket to Ride San Francisco, Days of Wonder. Number 8, Edge of Darkness from AEG. Number 7, 60 Second City from Buffalo Games. Number 6, Solo Mio from Abacus Spiel and Rio Grande. Number 5, SiliconVania from WizKids. Number 4, Qwixx on Board from NSV. Number 3, Priest of Ra, Rio Grande. Number 2, Autobahn from Alley Cat. And number 1, Miller Zoo from Randolph and Hachette.
My number 10, Ticket to Ride San Francisco. Number 9, Blob Party. Number 8, Edge of Darkness. Number 7, Autobahn. Number 6, Solo Mio. Number 5, Qwixx on Board. Number 4, Indiana Jones Cryptic. Number 3, 60 Second City. Number 2, SiliconVania. And number 1, Miller Zoo.
Yep, that is our top 10 for June 2023. We've already got a good head start on July.
Yeah, shape it up to be good.
After having gone to Dice Tower East.
Yep.
Pre-Dice Tower East, then Dice Tower East, then everything that we've already played this month, since we're already halfway through July. Already looking forward to our next top 10 batch. Hey, come join us on Twitch every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we will stream and play through no less than 3 games every night with full teaches and playthroughs. Come join us on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph. That's her.
And for those on Twitch, we'll be right back.